Congratulations once again for making the Southern African Women in Leadership Trailblazers Awards. It really is such an honor to have you, my favorite Mbokoto, a true trailblazer. I think people know I'm a big fan and supporter of your work. I love that you constantly lift as you rise, and I'm glad that people see that in you and people recognize your work and your efforts in changing changing the status quo and transforming and really putting the spotlight on gender equality. So yeah, congratulations from my side. You know who I am.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Andy Brough from the Brough Leadership Institute. So he is my co-pilot with this interview. And before I hand over to him, tell us who Thandeka is and what she's about and why SAWIL finalist, Trailblazers Awards finalist.
Thandeka is a lady that grew up in the Soweto township. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family where both my late parents were entrepreneurs. So like growing up, I did not have your typical childhood because, during school holidays and weekends, we'd have to go work at the family businesses. And, at that time, for me, I was not too happy about that. We actually used to almost hate my dad for that. But, many years later, I actually got to really appreciate those moments because I feel that they actually molded me to who I am today. And my late father was actually a property developer. And my love for construction actually started there because, as a little girl, when he would drive around with me, I would actually see from when he would buy a stand and it had nothing there. And actually, I would keep on going there and really seeing what a big difference, his work was making. And also in that, I also saw how he actually gathered the communities around where he was working, and gave them employment. So from a very young age, I got to really, get those lessons and see that, by working with other people, you go far in life. And even when you're someone that grows up in Soweto, it does not mean that, nothing greater can come out of your life. So basically, I'm just that girl that grew up in the Soweto township that had huge dreams. And I was blessed to have, a formidable person like my father to look up to.
Thandeka, you're very modest. What you haven't told our viewers is that you also have qualifications in sales and marketing and PR. And if I had to summarize your story, it would be from PR to pipelines. How does that sound?
Oh, yes.
Does that sound about right?
It sounds about right, yes.
So just close that gap for us. How do you go from a diploma in public relations to pipelines, wastewater, civils,
yes,
and major construction? I mean, those are two very diverse fields, and may I say, a very male-dominated field as well.
And at the time, I did not know what PR was. And I started doing research on that, and it really fitted in very well with, my personality. That was when I enrolled at Wits University to do public relations. And as I was about to finish my studies, so there was a Sunday afternoon when I was sitting at home and I was reading a newspaper article. And on this article, they were featuring the first Black-owned BMW dealership at the time. So I did the most craziest thing after that. On the Monday, I went to the dealership and I asked to see one of the directors. And I actually asked for him because I read of his name on the article. So while I was sitting in the coffee area, there were clients walking in at the dealership and the salespeople were not on the floor to assist them. So I just became brave and I went up to the client and I said, "Hi, sir, can I please assist you? I can see you've been walking around without any assistance." And he said, "Yes, I'm actually looking to buy a car, but there's no one assisting me." I said to him, "Can I get you something to drink? I'll get you a salesperson shortly." So while I was speaking to her, I asked her, can I assist you? Because I saw she had a lot of cups of coffee to take around the dealership. And she said, yes, sure. She was so happy that I wanted to assist her. So in that moment, I actually got around to go to the whole dealership. I was at the parts department. I was at the service department. I knew everyone there, but I was this girl that no one knew. So I went back to the coffee area, and when Lita finally, he went past and he's like, Sissy, can I assist you? Because I've been seeing you've been sitting here for almost the whole day. What's going on? Are you waiting for your car? And I said, no, sir, I'm actually here to see you. And he was so shocked. Because he's like, no, but I don't have an appointment with you. And I said, yes, sir, I know that, but I am literally asking for a few minutes of your time. And he said to me, unfortunately, we don't have budgets for interns. And at the moment, we can't take you, unfortunately. And while we were talking, there's a driver who came and complained to him that they actually did not have anyone to go with them to fetch a vehicle at the plant. And I immediately said to him, I'm here, I've got a license. And he's like, he was shocked. He's like, who are you? And I said, no, I am more than willing to assist anything. And he said to me, okay, come back the next day. So from that, I sort of created, a space for myself, and I created an opportunity for myself. And I started starting there as an intern. And later, I went to the sales cadet program for BMW, and where they appointed me as a sales executive. It was me trying to get my own independence and not relying on the family business or, what my dad's legacy, because I've always had this vision that I want to create a legacy of my own, and really showcase that I'm also capable in my own right, besides what my parents, have managed to achieve. And then later, at some point, my dad, because my father had cancer. So unfortunately, he was getting, his health was really regressing, and he was, not doing too great. So I decided that, I'm going to leave my work at the motor industry to go assist him because he really needed me at that moment. That was when, I joined the family business and headed the company as the CEO there. Unfortunately, a few months later, then he lost his battle to cancer. Then it was a matter of me having to, take the bull by the horns and, carry on with his legacy. And that's how I got into the commercial property space. But while I was doing that, actually, even when I was still working, I've always had a love for construction. And I've always, tried to get into the construction sector, but it was a bit difficult because, first of all, it was very difficult because of my gender. It was difficult because of my race as well. And, it was something that I registered a company, but I was not really that active in it. But, there was this nagging feeling that, Thandeka, you just need to keep on trying and pushing for this construction thing, because it's really, a passion of mine. So while I was the CEO of our family business, I approached a friend of mine who was actually running our construction company. And I said to him, my friend, you know how much I love construction. Can I please come and be an intern at your company? And he thought I was crazy. He's like, how does a CEO come and intern at my company? That does not make sense. And I said to him, you know what? The only way you can learn in life is actually when you get your hands dirty. And I don't mind getting my hands dirty. And I think he thought I was really joking around. And that Monday, I spoke to his project manager. I was on site, bright and early and ready. And in my overalls and ready to learn about the construction sector.
So Thandeka, now that you look back and you think about women coming behind you, what would your advice be for an aspirant PR qualifier or somebody getting into sales and marketing, or maybe even in construction? Just in a minute or two, what would you say to them?
I would always say that, a qualification should never determine what it is you turn out to be in life. Because true value comes from determination, perseverance, and knowing that you need to give it your all. And you're never too good to work hard and get your hands dirty. And no matter how much you actually go up in life, never feel that you've arrived. Always have a teachable spirit. As much as, I'm running big companies, I always have a teachable spirit. Because even sometimes on site, when I go there, I would speak to the laborers and ask them, so what is happening here? What are you guys doing? And that actually makes you, even more of a leader that people can identify with.
Thank you, Thandeka. It really is such a pleasure to have you as part of the finalists. We're looking forward to the next stage and phases of the awards. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thandeka, Nombanjinji, and Nzama, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.